Hello there, welcome to another episode of the Glory Effect. Every time I get to come here and talk with you, it's always satisfying. Today we came with an important topic that a lot of times people overlook, and that is because we place emphasis on things like speed, things like strength, and we kind of forget what is really, really important in life. Today we will be talking about empathy as a superpower, how it affects you personally, how it betters your relationship in your family with other people around you, and just gives you a satisfaction as a person. My guest today is someone who has been here before. Because of how greatly I enjoyed the previous interview, I had to bring Jennifer Pwajok back to the studio. Jennifer, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
It's really always a breath of fresh air talking to you every time. And in today's topic, I had to bring you in, knowing your personality and how much you give a lot of yourself out there to people. So I had to bring you in to talk about this, because this is not about reading a book to come and answer on this topic. It is about experience, how you see it, how you live it, how you give it out. That is why I really had to bring in someone who is deeply rooted in today's topic. So as far as you're concerned, what would you say you understand by empathy? What really is it?
Thanks for having me. Empathy to me is just emotionally connecting to others, putting yourself in others' shoes. That's how I simply put it. Seeing yourself in others, being able to put yourself in the same position as others.
Absolutely. So, why do you think empathy can be considered a superpower in today's world?
Can definitely be considered a superpower. Why it's a solution to many things. Empathy is big enough to resolve conflict. Imagine if we are all able to understand each other, if we are all able to be in each other's shoes. Like before you say something to a person, you put yourself in the shoes of that person. Before you hurt a person, you put yourself in the shoe of that person. How will I feel if this is done to me? Imagine if everyone in the world is able to think that way, feel that way. It's not just about feeling sorry for someone if he's in a particular condition, or being able to put yourself in that position. It's a connection that has superpowers.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. So I have this rule in life, and a lot of times the decisions I make are deeply connected to this, and it's not any other thing than asking myself. It is the rule Jesus gave us, and we call it the golden rule. Do unto others as you will have others do to you, right?
Exactly.
So if this thing I'm going to do is going to, hurt another person,
Exactly.
or it's going to result in what I would not even want someone to do to me, then I wouldn't think of doing it to someone else.
Exactly.
So absolutely, I agree with you. So like you've said earlier, how does empathy impact on our relationships?
Empathy has the capability of giving you real connection with a person. Relationship, either be family, friends, whatever relationship, either at your workplace, is able to give you a connection to someone. When you understand each other, you have less conflict. Imagine if we are working together, or as family member, I understand you. I don't necessarily need to agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from.
Absolutely.
I understand your situation.
Yeah.
Simply just even understanding that we can't even think alike because you're Gloria and Jennifer.
Yeah.
That simple thing helps your relationship when you come to the point of understanding the other person.
Yeah.
To me, when you have understanding, then you are able to communicate properly.
Yeah.
And if you can communicate properly, you have solved half of the problem in a relationship.
I can't agree less with you on this, honestly. Before a relationship can thrive seamlessly, there has to be a level of understanding that must be put into consideration. So, in what ways can empathy improve leadership and decision making?
It's obvious, isn't it? If leaders can put themselves in the position of those they are leading, then things will just work out perfectly. If leaders are putting out what do they call policies, and they are putting themselves in the shoes of those they are leading before creating those policies, then don't you think they will create policies that will favor people? If they are putting themselves in the shoes of those they are leading, everything that they will do it well. When they are building hospitals and they are thinking that they will be in those hospitals when they are sick, they will make it well. The problem we have with leaders and leaders both in the country or place of work or even in our families is that we don't put ourselves in other people's shoes. We are just trying to lead and get away with it without actually trying to put yourself in the shoes of this person. This road now that you have refused to fix because you are always flying a private jet. If you have to follow this road or you are driving yourself, you are using these low cars that others are using, how will you like it? These hospitals now, if you are taken to this hospital, will you like it? This food that you are giving, will you be able to eat it? If we have leaders that can just put their self, that's the issue. They don't care. So they don't even try to put their self because they have already concluded they will never be in that position. But if they can just imagine themselves in that position, then we are going to solve a lot of problems.
I totally agree. So, this particular question I want to ask right now got me thinking, because a lot of people see empathy as a weakness, right? People feel that if you have empathy in today's world, that you will be on the losing end. Now, I want to know, can practicing empathy make us mentally and emotionally stronger?
Definitely. I've never really been able to understand how people connect weakness and empathy. I mean, what are they doing in the same sentence? Being able to understand others, to put yourself in the shoe of others, to emotionally put yourself in the position where others are. How does that make you weak? That is something that can come from a strong person. It's not easy to actually put yourself in other people's shoes in a world where everybody is trying to be for themselves, all manner with his kettle.
Yeah.
Everybody should bear his own cross. And everybody is dealing with something. It might not be the same thing as Mr. A dealing with the same thing as Mr. B, but definitely we are all dealing with something. So for you, for a moment, to be able to live what you are dealing with, to now begin to feel for another person, is strength. But what I would say is, in whatever way that we show empathy, I think where some people miss it is being able to draw the line. Know your limit, draw the line. Where you're able to feel for somebody. if you put yourself in a position of, it doesn't mean that that person is automatically right. It doesn't mean, that is not what empathy is. It doesn't mean that you become vulnerable to the person. If someone is hurt or going through something, or you are trying to understand a particular person, it doesn't mean that you should not see the weakness of that person. I just encourage that you do not judge. You try to understand and then correct in love.
You know, it is really, really important that you went on to add this particular word, judge. Once you take judgment from a situation, you are able to practice empathy.
Exactly.
A lot of times you see people just come out and say things. We're in a free world where anyone can type anything and post on social media.
Exactly.
So when you take judgment out of a situation, you are able to connect with someone else. So moving forward, I would like to know, what role does empathy play in conflict resolution and peacemaking?
It plays a big role as far as I'm concerned. In a case where we have, let's say, communities are in conflict and we are working towards a resolution, what is going to help them gain that peace or come to a common ground is when they are able to understand each other. When two people are in conflict, what you need to know is that everybody is claiming to be right.
Absolutely.
Right? Community A are saying you did this other community say you did this. Nobody is going to accept that they are wrong. You will waste your time from the beginning of that meeting till the end. You will not come to any resolution. That's where empathy comes in. Now, we are not judging and saying this is wrong or this person is wrong. It's that understand where this person is coming from. Understand where the other people are coming from. If A is able to look at B and say, oh, okay, yes,
I get you.
I get you. So this is what you were saying then. Oh, this is what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
And the other group to say, okay, I get it now. Even though we don't think like that, but I understand that this is what you were thinking.
Yeah.
If there's going to be, you have that empathy to understand and put yourself in. The world today is it is because nobody wants to understand anybody. Everybody is just thinking. That's why social media is, I don't even know how to describe it now. Just put a story out there.
And the versions you will hear.
See people tripping in and sending comments and judging and cursing and that is why it's always easy for them to change sides. The moment the other party comes in now and say their own, they have moved.
They will switch to the other party.
So it helps in resolution if we're able to understand each other, not necessarily agree.
I totally agree with you, honestly. So, do you think empathy can be taught, or people are born with it?
Well, to me, I feel that there are people that have that trait, right? There are people that naturally, you meet them and they are just, I think it comes from the beginning of time. When you see even babies, when another baby is crying,
yes,
that other baby was not hurt, but you just see the baby crying also. Why? Because this other child. I have children, when you are talking, one is crying, you see the other one crying, right? It's like sometimes when we grow into this world that we are, then we begin to lose these things.
Yeah.
But I think this empathy thing is in us. It's an in-between, but it's also something that can be taught, that can be learned.
Yeah.
Yes, environments that you are can teach you, right? Your experience in life. Now, a rich man might never be able to understand a poor man. But the day he loses everything and becomes poor, if he gets a chance to be rich again, when a poor man is talking, he will understand. Sometimes experiences in life will teach you. The environment where you live will teach you. There are so many things. So as far as I'm concerned, there's a trait to it, but then it's definitely, to me, something that you can actually learn.
Because I agree with you that it is both innate and it can be learned.
Mm.
When environmental challenges kind of disrupt those innate traits in us,
Mm-hmm.
we still have the ability to unlearn,
Exactly.
to relearn,
Yeah.
you know. So when you have gone through life's big thing, boss, like people usually say,
Mm.
after sometimes you can go back to yourself. You can really take that back and start all over again to feel like a human being towards
Exactly.
others.
Totally
You know.
agree.
What are some small everyday ways people can practice empathy?
It's not that big. Thank God you say small ways,
Yeah.
right? First thing for me, I'll say listening. To me, people who listen are very important. Just talking and knowing that someone is actually listening, especially in the digital world that we are today. You're talking, someone is busy on the phone, or being able to listen, for someone to know that you're actually paying attention, first of all, is a way. Then, and when you listen, even if you're not saying anything, at least you're nodding, at least shows that you are following.
Yeah, I'm
right?
with you.
Yes, I'm with you, I understand you. I'm getting what you are saying. And we should be able to, like I said earlier, listen without judging. It's a way to show empathy. You should be able to listen to someone. I'm not saying you should agree with whatever, that, like I said, not necessarily agree with the person. But empathy is to understand where a person is coming from. Understand where a person is coming from. That is some of the ways that you can actually show empathy. Listening to someone, understanding where they are coming from without judging them. Those are the few ways I believe you can show empathy.
Yeah. So how has lack of empathy affected us?
Everything we see today, especially in the country where we are, is as a result of lack of empathy. Imagine if we had empathy, would you have people kidnapping, killing, raping, stealing? Right? I mean, these people who do these things have family as well.
Yeah.
So if you imagine that, what if this is my child?
Oh my God.
If this is my child, how will I feel? Then you won't kidnap. If this is mine, will I take it? Imagine if this, I worked so hard for this money and someone jukes me of money. How will I feel? So the world that we live in today, with all its ups and downs and all the negativity we see around us, is a lack of empathy. That we do not want to put ourselves in other shoes. All we care about is ourselves. Me, myself, and I.
You know, the beautiful thing is that empathy is not really about understanding others in big ways.
Yes.
It's the smallest things in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before you share that story you have not verified, ask yourself, what if this thing is about me? How would I like somebody to say this? You know, we see things every day and we just wonder why our leaders do not understand us. If you're in the same position with someone, you refuse to understand that person, how would a higher person understand the person or understand you? Try entering a public transport. Somebody who you are paying the same fare with enters and will not adjust on the seat for you to sit down. Like, this is their right. They pay the same fare with you. This is their right to this. So you now begin to wonder.
Act like it's your private car.
You begin to wonder. Go to our community's compounds where they call face me and face you, and see like a raw lack of empathy in display, and you wonder. So if you are able to do this, how do you go to bed and sleep at night? right? We keep making things worse and worse for ourselves every time. So, moving forward, some people fear that being too empathetic can lead to burnout. Like, they will lose themselves, they will get tired, they will. What do you think about that?
I'll never be able to understand that question because I don't know how that actually works. Like, understanding people makes you lose yourself, or showing empathy to people makes you lose yourself. It's like what we have been saying, you're not necessarily accepting, right, or agreeing to what people or that particular person is going through or the action they are taking, but you are trying to understand that there is a reason. There is a reason. Okay, let me understand. Put myself in your shoe. Tell me your story. Okay, yes. In you, you know that, okay, maybe you should have done it this way.
Yeah.
But he is not same with you. He didn't do it that way. He did it the other way.
Yeah.
So the empathy there is to understand him, not judge, show love, and at the same time give him a direction.
Yeah.
How do you lose yourself? That way, when you are pouring into others, love, the more you give, the more you receive. That's what I actually believe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, finally, right, in what ways do you think the world can use more empathy?
Sorry, come in.
In what ways? Or let me reframe it this way. If empathy is a superpower, how do you think the world would look if more people used it?
Beautiful. I think the world would be a better place to live in. Especially, I will say again, with social media. This generation where we live in right now with social media. There are people that can't even stay in social media. It's depressing, right? So many people are depressed just because of other people's comments. So I want to imagine a world where everybody is trying to put themselves in each other's shoes, where everybody can be understood. Because no matter how hard you try to argue, insult, say bad things, judge people, we cannot just be the same. We can never be the same. Everyone has how he or she is reasoning. So if we can all come to an understanding, I put myself in your shoes, you put yourself in my shoes. If there's something out there and you try to understand, oh, okay, in a voice that you talk to someone, understand, I get you. What if you had done it this way instead? Instead of, now wow, God forbid, how can man be do this kind of thing? How can this, how can that? Understand? And I realized that judgment doesn't really help. It doesn't help. It doesn't solve anything. Instead, it just makes certain people isolated, even people that want to change. And our society hardly receives people who want to change. Because people don't want to forget what you did yesterday.
Yeah.
You'll forget all the good you have done, but that one thing that you do, they will use it against you forever.
For the rest of your life.
Exactly. People don't accept people back. So imagine if someone does wrong and comes and change and we're able to understand, accept the person back, and we are all living in a world where we are understanding each other. When we see mistakes, someone says, "Oh, I'm sorry." Everybody's angry right now, and everybody's just minding their business, or everybody's all for himself and does not care for anybody. So if the world will really be a better place to live in if most people show love, show empathy, care, understanding, and less judgment.
Absolutely. Less judgment. Jennifer, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing justice to this. Every time I talk to you, you just have a way of giving life to discussions. And I'm so blessed to have you. Honestly, I'm so blessed to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, whether it is as a parent, as a spouse, you have to understand that you and the other party are not the same. You must give grace to the other party. And this, like our guest said, doesn't mean you are agreeing with them, with their point of view, with their decisions, but putting yourself in their shoe to understand why they did what they did. Because I tell you the truth, everyone wakes up wanting to give their best, wanting to do right. But a lot of times, bad decisions will always override. Let us give grace to each other and try to do better next time. Thank you for watching. See you again next time. Bye.